good afternoon, everybody. Wednesday, 16th of April, gosh, and we're on tile number, here we go, 537. So what have I done with it? I've got a regular white tile, and here we go, let's go a little bit bigger. And I've put a little bit of inking around the edge, so a little bit of blue there. You can do whatever you like, you don't have to ink it if you don't want to, you come straight in. And I'm going to use pencil to start with, and I've got a straight edge, so I'm going to use my ruler, and it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to use this sort of rounded edge. I'm going to sort of keep with the straight, because I'm not going to see all of it when I've finished. So I'm going to be quite light with it. So a bit of a border, but I want to also, let's have a go. It's almost going to be a little frame, so I might as well do that at the same time, see? A little bit of a frame. So if I work my way around, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to knock you all. And here we go, into there. That's that one. Sorry about yesterday, by the way. I couldn't fit the tile in. It was the wrong time. But if you watched on Crafters TV yesterday, thanks everybody for supporting. So I'm going to make that. See, look at the width there. Really appreciate all your nice comments and everything yesterday. It really helps. Thank you. And same in this one. So I'm going to keep it kind of similar. Like so, so you get the idea. Okay, so turning it round again. Oh, Chris, you've got blue on your tile as well. Great minds must think alike, that's all I can say. Hi, everybody. But went with green too, that's okay. That's okay. So say I'm doing it in pencil because I'm not going to sort of see all of it when I've finished. There we go. That was a bit of a long-winded way of drawing a little frame, but there we go. Got it now. All sorted. Okay, gonna, again, with pencil, just marking the mitres in the corner there, like so. And let's come in so you can see one of the corners. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself a bit of a bubble there and there. Again, I'm still in pencil here, so I could still remove things if I need to. And this side, I've not gone too close to that corner. You know, sort of going around and around, kind of committing myself, making that bubble slightly rounder. Okay. So I'm going to look at my mitre here, and I'm going to put myself a line either side of it. There, look. And then, and with my rubber, I'm going to remove that middle bit. So you see I've got that bit, a little gap in between. Let's do that. Hello, Jane. There's a few people on today. Hi, everybody. It's been a bit crazy here at Sanntangle HQ this week. I'm not quite sure whether I'm coming or going, I think, but it's all good. Keeps us out of trouble, doesn't it? Dobby was very well behaved yesterday, although he did get lollipop on the seat of my car. So I had to get a cloth when I got home to wipe all that up. Okay, he was quite happy he'd been somewhere different, I think. There you go. All right. Oh, hi, Denise. We've not done too much. We've done a double frame look, and I've put bubbles, and then I've sort of rubbed out the middle bit there. Okay, let's come in with a pen. What I want to do, I'm going to come from here to here as a bit of a curve, like this, double curve. Like that. Same again. Now, if you find it easier to do it the other way around, it doesn't matter, as long as you're getting these curves, however it's comfortable for you to draw. And of course, if you'd prefer to do it, all right. Oh, Rose, I don't think he took he took very well to that. Yeah, Dobby got called an animal yesterday. He was like, I'm not an animal. Okay, draw the bubble round. I'm going to fill those. Although, you know, they did refer to his ears being like Ben's. He was a bit offended. It's quite funny. All right, so let's again draw around this one and that one. and along there. So we've got that going on. And Maureen, didn't you win a prize yesterday? Didn't you? They pick your name out of the... What was it you won? I don't recall. Okay. So, sort of wandering around with that little bubble, filling both sides, like so. And then I'm going to come around with a second sort of shape round there. Okay, so round we go with the bubble, filling that in. And that side. And then I'm going to go around, creating that shape there. And along with this bit, into there. And back around. One more. Go along there. Let's sort of just give that a little bit of colour, fill that one in. And round we go. And same with this one. Go around and fill it in. Okay. Oh, Maureen, I think you need to go back on and have a look. It was the beginning of the second show. They said during the first show, people had got a message in. I think you sent a message. I think it was you anyway. And then they showed on the screen an email. They said, you've got to email this. I think it was you. So go back and have a look. You can go back on YouTube, have a look at the beginning of the second show. And Ben mentioned it. I do apologise if it wasn't you, and I think you've won a prize, but I got the idea it was. Okay, so you've got these little shapes here. So I'm going to stick with the pen now, but as of course, you don't always have to stick with pen. It's fine. Whatever's comfortable. And sort of in the middle. Notice I've not drawn in the frame in pen yet because I don't know if I'm going to go over the board. I'm not going to keep within this. So here we go. I'm going to draw sort of like a U shape, like this. And then on the sides, I'm going to come around and do like a little swirl there. I'll zoom in a minute so you can see it. There. Let's go in. Don't let me. There you are, see? And then from this side, or the other, doesn't matter. I'm going to come in with a little wavy line. And in the bottom here, I'm going to come in with, look, 1, 2, 3 little lines. If you can, put a little shape in the middle there. Depends on how big your sort of shapes are. And then let's put a stem. Now, my stem isn't going to come over that line. It's going to stop at the frame, like that. Keeping that quite narrow. And then let's put the leaf in. So I'm going to come up from here. Now this one, I can go out the frame if I want to, or you can stick within it. Let's put my leaf in. And then keeping it in a sort of a similar pattern, let's put in some little shapes there. Oh, let me know, Maureen. Okay, it's going to kind of fill them. If you can't, if yours are a little bit small, please don't worry about it. Don't have to do that. It just gives it a little bit of sense of something. Let's put some little dots in there. See, giving it the shape. We'll work our way up. All right. Now let's go in a bit so you can see that. All right. I'm going to put another one. So actually, sometimes you put the stem in first, and then other times you sort of think, well, actually, I'm going to put this in first. Doesn't really matter. Both are going to go in. And that one, look, is coming outside of that border. So again, let's do a little bit of a wave on the top. And then there's our little shape. Into there. And along here. And keeping it sort of narrow. And then I'm going to sort of come in with another one of those leaf shapes. And again, putting those shapes in there. Tiny little fillers, if you can. Okay. And a couple of little dots in. So I'm going to put another leaf in here. And the reason why I didn't do it first off is because I wanted to have that stem at the front there. So it's kind of a little bit of strategy of thinking, where do I want things to be? But you could do it all in pencil, and that would mean that you could wait and decide what you were going to do. Okay. I do that sometimes. You know, I've got loads of pens, and sometimes you think, well, it's not quite working as I wanted it to. But if I put it back and leave it a bit, it'll be fine when I come back to it. I must admit, I haven't got, I mean, I must have got through loads of pens, but I've not really got rid of them. There's always a little bit of something left. But there's nothing like opening a new one, is there? Okay. Some of them are great just for like putting dots on things. Okay. So again, like, let's put some little leaves in. Let's put that little shape on there. And again, filling it in, like so. And let's put the dots in. I'm going to put one in there, look. You can shape them however you like. You can put as many or as few in. Whatever you want to do. And to that little bit there, see? So coming up that way. Okay. And I think I'm going to sort of put one in here. And sort of it's going behind that one, like that. And again, some little lines. Okay. So I think 3 is probably enough, but what we can do is we can come in with some little kind of swirls. And again, I'm going to put some little dots in there. Oh, more, and it is, isn't it? It'd be a lovely little card topper, wouldn't it? So see, that's going to go behind that one. And going that way. Maybe follow it round. Let's have one sort of coming from here, so I can go over that one. Like I'm going to go underneath. You can sort of play around with it. I have all sorts of different things going on. And I'm going to put a few little dots on that line as well, just to give it a bit of interest. They don't all have to be the same or same distance, anything like that. Oh, Clarice, thank you for watching yesterday. I know it's a little bit of a different platform. It was lovely to go back actually and see a lot of people that, you know, I haven't seen for so long. It was lovely. So yeah, I had a great day. Dobby was well behaved, I must admit, to be honest, which is unusual. I say until he got in the car and dropped his lolly all over the seat. I don't know. All right, I'm drawing my frame in with a pen. So of course, anything that comes out into the frame, I'm going to draw around. Yeah. He did come away with a badge, Crafter's Companion badge. He swapped it for one of the Dobby badges that he's got hidden. Yeah. Okay, see, I'm just putting a mark so I can sort of see where I'm going. If you're not sure on it, you know, always check first, because you don't want to be cutting a line through anything that you don't need. Right, let's draw that bit in there. Okay, see, so I'm making sure that that sits over the top there. And same with this one. And I hope you will find it useful when I do demonstrations and things. I am really restricted on time, so I couldn't do a massive amount. But please, anything like that, send your questions in and ask. And I can sort of then go back and show you different things if you need me to. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to put the lid on my pen for a minute, and I'm going to get rid of those pencil lines now. I don't need them. There we are. It gives it a little bit of a different feel, doesn't it, when you remove the pencil? Don't have my little makeup brush today. It's still in my bag downstairs. Of course, we were getting prepped and ready for tomorrow for Sewing Street, so There's not much time between shows to do any tidying up. Okay, so I'm going to come in with a bit of coloured pencil. And of course, being that I've got a blue tile, it would be rude not to use a bit of blue colour. So let's come in with, here we go, bit of dark sea blue. And I'm going to come in with a little bit underneath those there. So I'm sort of lightly dusting a colour over. Okay. I'll come back, see, and do another layer afterwards. And then let's have a look for my mid sea blue. Well, let's put that in over the top. Take it up a little bit more. Again, you'll notice at the minute, I'm only going through lightly, so it's not really doing much. Of course, where's my sea blue, or summer sky rather, or shall I just come in with white? I'll just come in with white. Just sort of start that off going there. Same there. Okay. So then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to have a little bit more pressure. So we can start to merge those colours together. Like so. Sort of working its way around. Same with this one. So here what I'm going to do, I'm pressing a little bit more there, but then I'm working it gently into that white at the top. So in and along, white, showing at the top there. See, a little bit more pressure, but then ease it off. And then in with the white, swirl it round a bit. Okay, that looks fine. So I can actually, if I want to, yeah, I'm going to do it. A bit of night sky. I'm going to come in with a little bit, you know, just in that little gap there. So just sort of going around the edge of that design. There you go. All right. So a little bit of, I think I'm going to stick with the blue just for a moment. I'm going to go with that night sky. I can add a little bit in there. So just on the end, see, I'm just sort of pulling it out into those areas. Oh, really, they would, wouldn't they? Could you imagine putting the little fly in there, a little mouse just in there? Oh, Debbie. Well, he was on the sewing machine for a little while. He had a rummage through the pens. I did check his pockets and there was nothing in them, so that was okay. See, I've gone in with a bit of white there. That's a bit of sunny green. It's going to go over these. Now, I'm not going into the pattern. You see, I'm sort of doing the main space there. Okay, not put too much pressure on that at all. So I'm going to come in with a bit of deep green, just sort of in those bottom areas. So you see, just sort of pushing it out into that colour. And along. The thing with flowers, it's nice to sort of do these, isn't it, and then go back to your stencils. Oh, I always miss one. I don't think, how could I actually use that? So bringing these in with the new menagerie would be brilliant. But also, you know, like yesterday doing Locket Lane, you could bring them in, couldn't you? A bit down there, look. So let's bring that sunny green in again. I'm just going to kind of work those two together. Not massive amounts, just giving them a little bit of interest there. Okay. Now, usually if I wanted to give it a little bit of a background, I use a yellow, and that would give it a little bit of maybe a warm glow. But because my tile's a little bit of blue on it, if I do that, it's going to turn green. So I'm going to use a bit of light peach and sort of just integrate it into the tile. So hardly pressing on. I just kind of want a bit of warmth in there. And see, because it's got that blue in, At least this isn't going to turn green. Maybe we're just going to do it at the top there, look. See, sort of put a twist in there. Okay. So we need a little bit of colour on these. So I'm going to go in, it's a choice, isn't it? You could go in with purples or a bit of pink. I think actually let's have a bit of mid-rose. See, just in that bottom edge there. And then back in with the white. And then over the top there. Okay, that's nice, isn't it? So let's come in now with my 2B. And I know I've put some colour in there, but I can still add a touch. Just sort of inside there. I'm not going to overdo it because it's wax pencils I've got going on there, but I can still do a little bit inside. There you are. Okay. So then I'm going to put some inside here. See, I've got a nice point on that pencil today. I sharpened them, especially little bits in the edges. Not really going to see much there. And if you wanted to, of course, you could add a bit more detail in that frame. But I wanted the flowers to be the main attention. So this is going to have a little bit of shading with this. Depends on how wide your frame is, doesn't it? But depends how much pencil you're going to put in there. All right. Okay. So next little bit. So I'm going to sort of back and forth inside the frame first. You see, it's going to work in there a little bit, even with that colour. A bit into there. And there. And then with this one, it's kind of, so goodness me, the wind's picked up outside. It's blowing a gale. Okay, the idea is I don't really want to go into the middle, so I'm going to work it so I've got a bit of a gap there. And same all round. Into this one. Sort of swirling it a bit. We need it to. Same with this. Now the good thing with pencil in this is you can actually build it up in layers. So if you're not sure, you can do the first one and soften it all off. And then add a second layer to it. But it's easy done that way. So working my way around. I'm going to bring my white pencil in. I'm not using my chalk one, being that I've got my pack of pencils here. It's going to make sure I've got no colour on the edge because, of course, I've been mixing it with blues and pinks. So I've got a nice white edge. And I'm going to add some of that in the middle. I'm not going to try and blend it. I'm just going to go back and forth. Now, I know it's not going to be seriously clear, but I know it's there and it's making a little bit of a highlight. So bring in my black pencil. Now what I want to do is just on the inside there, so sort of on the lines, I'm going to bring in a bit of that darkness. Okay, along the edges. Now if you need to use the ruler to do that, or just listen. Oh yeah, read the pattern. Yeah, it would look nice, wouldn't it, doing a pattern in this with a blue pen. Sometimes, you want to put loads and loads of pattern in. And if you think, oh, it could be a bit too overpowering, like Reese says, if you did a different colour, it would tone it down a bit so it wouldn't be kind of in your face. But again, if you just want to do a little bit of drawing, you want the main feature to come out, you can can leave it. You don't have to pattern everything. And this could be quite nice. You know, if you did it bigger, then I would probably be more inclined to do a bit of pattern inside the flowers too. Maybe give it a few lines and some dots and things. But because they're really small, just added a bit of colour today. So you see, I'm just coming back in now. I'm going back over the over that black pencil, adding a touch of that in, just to sort of help work it in. So a little bit more in there. And the last thing, what should you always do? Sign your work. There it is. Signed and done. So there's our tile for today. So this one should have done yesterday, but of course we've not been here. I was at Crafters. It's nice to sort of catch up and do it today. So goodness me, tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? I'm on Sewing Street. I've got 2 shows there tomorrow. I'm also doing their 2 o'clock Facebook Live. So if you fancy doing a bit of soft toys, if you remember Bobby the Bunny, I've got some different fabrics there that I'm going to be using to make him or her. And of course then, what else have I got? Oh, then Friday, Helen is going to be on Hobby Maker doing her version of some Sanntangle bits and pieces. If you don't know, Helen's one of my teachers, so please support her and send some messages in. And of course, next week is the Facebook class. So that's going to happen on the 23rd. So everything's kicking off, lots of things happening. But if you're around and about, yeah, come and join us, come and say hi. Other than that, enjoy your tile, enjoy doing this as a drawing. Maybe you want to do it as a card and send it to somebody. But stay warm, it's a bit chilly here now. Well, have a great day, everybody. And I'll catch up with you at some point. If not, it'll be Friday as usual with our next tile at 2 o'clock. So have fun, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.